So I keep forgetting to check on that. So last time you guys decided to start heading north, and you were pretty much most of the way in your trek when one of you spotted something in the distance hauling a cart. And so you decided to investigate um, said cart, and it happened to be the cart that was stolen. Kind of just your luck, and you were able to see that it was guarded by a bunch of goblins, and two polar bears. You were able, with a little bit of time, honestly, but you were able to kill all the goblins, and you reattached the polar bears that were freed by the goblins that were attacking some of you, but with a couple animal handling checks. Yeah, so this is crazy. I was just kind of reading this just to make sure, and like technically I didn't have to like allow you to do the check more than once. So if you would have failed, I could have just mauled the hell out of you once that was it. So um but I'm glad I did the other way because that could have potentially lent itself into some TPK. But I just let it keep mauling you guys. So yeah, I'm glad it worked out the way it did. And I think it showed at the very least the real threat of some of these creatures. Um, and okay, actually, sorry, you guys are level 2 now. Sorry. But anyhow, from there, you decided that you only have a couple more hours. You think, barring the weather, barring the conditions, barring you kind of getting back onto the trail, that you could arrive in Karakhonig to investigate some potential thievery. Apparently, the town's kind of run amok with thieves and barbarian type thugs. Essentially, you're not exactly sure. You're not privy to the details, but you saw the post, you heard about it, and there's some money to be made. You decided as well that you were going to take the cart with the polar bears with you. Um, so you're essentially taking that risk, but I mean, it's a party full of adventurers and two polar bears. So you gather that you can probably, take care of it yourselves. And that's where we finished off last time. Was there anything else you guys wanted to add or note?
I mean, I put in the chat what my vote was for, which was to continue on the trail with the cart and polar bears through the night, because I think we were deciding between taking a
Yeah, I
rest
think.
here or having a point of exhaustion in
Yeah,
order
I
to
think
make
so.
it to the
Yeah,
town.
sorry. I think. Yeah, we were just at the point of deciding that. I misspoke. I was saying that. Well, I'm pushing you guys forward, but you don't have to do that. You're more than welcome to take it easy, take a break. Just keep in mind, though, that there will be some checks to be made because of the weather and how cold it gets. So that's just something to consider in your guys' decision. So yeah, let's hash that out. See how you guys want to approach this and how you want to take care of this.
Do we think we can keep the two bears here on our side while we travel to Karakhonig?
It's a good point.
All right, I'll be in the sled.
And I was gonna say, apparently I'm on the other one or something. I'm looking back on our rolls. I can't remember if that's why I'm on it. I don't know. Maybe I'm
Say that again?
heading it. I said I
Oh,
don't
right.
know if I'm on the polar bear or what. I can't tell from the.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
cool. Okay, cool. Well then, Zorn's ready to go. Whatever you guys want to do.
Okay.
Ha-cha.
Other folks? Input, feedback, comments, concerns, questions?
Gene.
Okay.
Mothy. Hades.
Are we able to, well, we didn't go that far off trail to go find this cart, did we? So, I mean, I assume even in the weather, we still have an idea which direction we need to go.
Yeah. So you guys didn't veer off to a couple 100 feet. I think I said like an eighth of the mile last time, something around that. So nothing too far where you can't see the trail again. Yeah, you might have lost, all in all, maybe, let's say, half hour when you're investigating and taking care of them and reattaching the polar bears and kind of going through their stuff. So I would say you lost half an hour in that whole process. So, yeah, I would say that you can get back, and then I would just have you roll a couple more checks to make sure you maintain your course on the trail. But
I think we should, get back on the trail and scare the living crap out of anyone else on the trail.
Yeah.
fair enough. Okay. So
Or,
let's see.
disappoint people because these are not owlbears.
Right, yeah, they're just regular, cool polar bears.
I mean, of course they're cool. They're in the north.
All right, fair enough.
And I think Osmanthus said it best by saying that they are polar bears because they're pulling the cart.
Oh,
I
God.
think Asilos actually said that, right?
Yeah.
Nope. It says Greg. Oh, wait. Maybe it was a silo. It should really be Bofades because he's supposed to be our witty person.
I think he's just like,
Wow.
yeah. Yeah, I want this just kind of like a side here, like, you can role play however much or little as you want. I mean, I'll play along. So you guys kind of, if you guys want to be like, hey, look, I just want to just dick around and just sing and whatever, you can do that.
Yeah,
you know,
Oliver,
but-
you should sing.
But keep in mind the other players are going to be there just kind of watching you, or this might step in or whatever. So
Yeah, make it good, Oliver. Make it good.
yeah, so yeah, but, I mean, no pressure, Oliver, is what I'm saying.
That's good. I don't need that kind of pressure in my life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So just say, oh, you start singing if that's what you want to do, or you're just like, oh, I perform, do blah.
Is there any room in the cart?
Say that again.
Is there any room in the cart for a super strong wizardly elf?
So there is not really any room. You can, so I'll say that so kind of like this car, it seats two. So, but in the back, it really is just full of rocks and these ingots and stuff. So if you want, you could lay on top of that, but that doesn't seem very comfortable. And also adds more weight for the polar bears if you care about that. So.
Okay.
Man, I love that. You're just wrapping yourself up. Gets me every
Right?
time.
I'm tempted to be like, Jon Snow has entered the chat.
Okay, so yeah, okay. I think pretty much everyone decided get back on the trail,
Mm-hmm.
push through. All right. Anything else before we kind of kick it off to the next segment here?
So I can't remember, were the goblins riding the polar bears, or are we just supposed to like move them along behind us, or what?
Oh, that's a great question. So I'll say this: when you guys investigated everything last time, there is a whip.
Oh.
that you could use. They do
Just
have.
only one, like one whip.
Well, I mean, yeah, just whip one for the other. So,
Okay.
How much whipping do you think we need to do, Stephanie?
I don't know. I feel like they're bigger than like horses, so I don't
yeah,
know.
but like,
Not like it's like turning cranks to make them move. You have to continuously whip them 100%
don't
of the
know.
time.
I don't know much. I feel like I should know because of my animal handling, but in real life, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just
Well, to be
envisioned
fair-
just like, oh, only one whip? That's clearly not enough whipping. Two people need to be whipping at all times. Yeah, that's a little concerning about Zoran or Stephanie or both.
Definitely so.
Those are clearly two individual ones.
It's tough. It's tough.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so you could do that. They do have like harnesses, and so I mean, I'll let you decide however you want to do that. So if you want to roll an animal handling check, Zoran, to see how you want to.
No, I just don't know. I feel like Asilo and I are the two that should be handling the bears or something. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
I just don't know
That's up to you.
if it would be better to be riding them or just we're just kind of cool.
Your call. Your call. However you want to do this, but at some point, I need to check. We got to move this forward.
Yes. Not riding then. We're just gonna walk beside them. I'm good with that.
Okay.
So you're gonna walk beside them. Asilo's gonna get, or not Asilo, but Oz is gonna get in one of the cart seats.
Okay.
So,
You have one cart seat.
Yeah.
Anyone else taking the other cart seat?
I'll get up there.
Okay.
Good.
I
Our
figured
two slowest
Timothy would
people.
slip in, but
100%.
Jimothy will fit himself somewhere in between like the cargo in the back,
Okay.
out of the wind.
okay, perfect. All right. So, okay. Yeah. Like, give me some of. Oh yeah. Let me unpause this. Give me some animal handling checks, please. Zoran and Asilo. I'll let you both roll, or one of you can roll with advantage, however you want to do that.
Oh. I already rolled.
Okay.
Sorry. But you rolled so well before. I already rolled. Sorry.
It's like taking a million years for your roll to register on mine. What'd you get?
Well, I rolled a 13 or an 8, but I didn't know. We can just take my first roll, which was the 13, because
Okay.
that was my first one.
13. Okay. So it kind
Oh wait,
of.
Asilo yours came through 3 times.
Yeah, I think it's lagging.
Yeah, it's like in right that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Weird.
yeah. It shows that you
Well,
rolled a 14,
rolled
a
a natural
17, and then a
20.
20, but then obviously it was a 19.
Refresh my page because this is really bad.
Should we all get out and go back in?
I don't know.
Is it slow for anyone else? Did you guys see my rolls or no?
It's
I
been
didn't see him
since
at
we
all.
started.
Oh.
Right.
Oh.
Okay. So. Oh, weird.
Mm.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Matt, I see your chat of X.
Yeah, that seemed quick enough. Like you responded pretty quick to it. So
Yeah, like I said, I rolled twice, and then I saw Daniel's 3 rolls. I see Greg's roll of 15 and Matt's 4 d10s.
I didn't even see. Yeah, I didn't see my own roll.
I didn't see
Okay.
my own roll just now then.
Oh,
either.
well, Greg, you got a 15, and then
Woo.
Matt, you got a 1, 8, 3, and 5.
It's gonna be an interesting
just-
session tonight.
I'm just testing rolls. I don't really need to know what I roll. I just.
Okay.
Are we able to reset the server or something?
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's weird.
Every-
I don't know. I mean, just kind of refresh it, and then I can can go in and maybe check, but I haven't messed with that. Honestly, I might just be able to at some point just get rid of this and just start forward everything myself locally. So
I mean, Celso, can you
Testing.
see all
Okay,
of our
there it
stuff
is.
or no?
just now when I refreshed, but I haven't seen anything since.
Oh, okay.
Which is not great.
Yeah, I was experiencing technical difficulties in OBS. I think I got it figured out now. So the entire
Okay.
time I've been talking, no one's been able to hear me. Except for you guys.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say we've heard you, but got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, right now I see
I'm just gonna read mine.
an animal handling, Zoran's, the 3 Asilo rolls, and then one of Matt's 4d10. And then, are there anything else? Is there anything
Well,
else?
Greg had a 1d20.
I saw a test from Asilo just now. I don't know how long he sent that ago.
I just typed that.
Just 1 second ago.
Okay. And then I saw Greg's d10. just now.
D10.
I just rolled that.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
I have not seen any dice rolls.
have you seen
Perfect.
any dice roll results?
No, or results.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm going to try and refresh my Foundry, see if that resolves it.
Okay.
I think that's helping.
Yeah, now I
Yeah.
see that you're not in Foundry.
Okay.
Man, I bet
see
these bears are
2d2.
super mad at us right now.
Okay, so hopefully
My rolls are good now.
I'll kind of look into that because I was like, look, I'm gonna use this and like pay part of it. Like it's got to be pretty decent.
Okay, I'm seeing rolls and roll results now. So
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
see what
So
happens
anyhow.
when you take a break. Everything messes up.
Yeah, don't do that. That's yeah, I was feeling terrible last week, so I'm glad that, or no, however long ago it was, 2 weeks ago. So I'm glad I was not able to play then. But anyhow, let's. Okay, so we have a 13 and 3 rolls. We'll say it takes you a little bit of time to kind of get. You're like trying to like, pat the polar bears or like you like point and say go. And so you then kind of like test out the whip. And like one of the things about the whip's like it's not like you're. I mean, it depends on if you watch, but like you're not like just whipping these animals. You could just whip, kind of scare them because that's kind of the idea. It depends how you want to do it, but
Oh,
you whip in the air and scare them, and then they kind of start moving forward.
if it's like
They're more.
let's say if it's
Say
like a
again.
riding crop, it's just kind of like tap it on the butt and it goes. It makes a little popping noise when you.
Right, exactly. Yeah. That's honestly probably better. Because like these are wild animals, pretty belligerent. It's not like you're wanting to scare the shit out of them, also.
Or inflict pain.
Right. So yeah, so you kind of test out a couple things, and then you eventually make it in a sound, and they're like, "Okay, yes, go." They're a bit slow. You kind of notice. It takes a little bit of time for you to kind of figure out how to like keep pushing them along, and you would say that you're probably gonna lose about another half hour to an hour, depending on. I'm gonna have somebody else here roll a survival check. To kind of, but you think you're gonna go at a little bit of a slower pace, which kind of makes sense. You're hauling 900 pounds, so plus your guys' weights. So that's just something to note.
Minus the silo and, Zoran.
Sure.
We're not riding on them.
Right. But still, some of you are. It's not like you guys are feathers or anything. Okay. I'll have one of you. It can be the same people. Roll a survival check to kind of see whether you maintain your pace. You're able to kind of maintain
Asilo,
their-
do we both want to roll one?
Yeah. you guys can do that.
Sure.
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 Go for it.
Okay. Got a 7 and a 14. Oof, negative on the survival. All right.
Mhm.
So with a 14, yeah, Zoran's kind of like, she struggles. She's kind of initially taking the lead to kind of like get the polar bears back to the trail. Kind of once that happens, Asilo is just like, oh, I'll kind of take it from here. And yeah, you kind of like find where the trail is for the most part. Like it's snowing, and so there are parts of it as you're traveling along where you're just like, oh, I can't really tell. This looks like it's just like very undisturbed snow here. Like it's not. So is this really the trail? And yeah, you're able to maintain it. So you travel for a couple hours. And I want everybody to roll a Constitution saving throw, please.
As a question, did our cold weather stuff that we bought, is it helping at all with this cold weather stuff? Or like with our
Yeah,
cold
so
weather?
what I did was I modified the DC
Okay.
for that. So
Did you make it higher? You guys got cold weather gear trying to game the system. Get out of here.
that's terrible. Okay, let's see here. The only person that fails, unfortunately, is Zoran.
Thorin, yeah, I just changed the color of my dice, so hopefully that'll help moving forward.
Yeah. Yes, the Oliver strategy. I love
Yes,
It surely
I
will.
mean, it works.
until it doesn't.
60% of the time, it works every time.
it. Yeah. Okay, so Zoran, it's funny enough, you're like walking along, and you're trying to do your best to kind of keep up, but you keep kind of like slipping, and as you slip, you kind of get some snow in your in kind of the layers, and so it's just
I
and
feel like
then
my
you're kinda, like-
socks are wet. Like
Yeah,
I've
your
stepped
socks
in
a
a
little bit wet.
puddle and like the snow's just melting in there.
It's not a good time, but you do incur a point of exhaustion. Um, so, so yeah, you when again, just a reminder, when you incur a point of exhaustion, for us, it's just like you have like a kind of like a meter, get to a certain value, you die, and then you get -1 to all checks. So that's just
Yep.
which I think
Not
is
my
regular
first time
for-
being exhausted
Yeah.
from this darn snow.
Yeah, this darn snow. Okay. And then I'll have just kind of a series of rolls here. I'll have two of you give me a perception check. Or actually, scratch that. Everyone can roll a perception check. I think this is fun. Oh. Oliver, yours like rolled over. It looked like it was going to be a natural 18, and then just boom to the floor.
I
And
mean, such is my life right there. I was like, yes, and then I was like, 6.
okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. So I'll say Jimothy and Osmanthus. It's kind of a higher DC here. You start as you're kind of like approaching the town, or you think you kind of like see it in the outskirts. So that's like the first thing. And I will say that anybody who rolled a 10 or above can easily see, they're from a distance. It's kind of like you're sloping down, so you can kind of see the town. So that's like the first thing you notice. You notice like this very small couple of like buildings grouped together. So it's pretty small compared to Bryn Shander for sure. This Bryn Shander has more of a feel of a city, even though it's still kind of a town. But this is more of a town. It's the next thing you notice, and you kind of notice this from a distance, you see just a huge mountain. And you saw this for a while, but as you kind of approach it now, it looks like yeah, like a cairn. It's just a bunch of like huge stones stacked upon each other. So it's kind of weird that, you know, there are all these massive boulders and stones kind of shape their way up into a mountain. From a distance, it looks like a mountain, but yeah. So you notice that, and you see that this town is kind of like at the base of it. So everyone who rolled a 10 and above or everyone who rolled like a 2 and above can see the mountain. 10 and above can see the town, and so on and so forth. But Osmanthus and Jimothy, you hear some whispers in the air. You hear like it's like very faint. You hear like you hear like somebody's talking in like the wind. I don't know if you guys like have had that experience before, but like you hear like somehow like the winds are picking up certain sounds. But it's a little unnerving. You can't quite tell what they're saying, but you do hear these sounds kind of as the wind blows a little bit harder towards you and howls. It sounds like it's trying to communicate with you. So yeah, there you go. So you're probably about a 10-15 minute walk from getting into town.
Were we ever to make out, like, did we ever make out any specific phrases or anything like that, or is it just completely
Yeah, it
unclear?
seems like it seems like pretty much gibberish. Like it sounds like yeah, like it's not really too intelligible, but it's distinct from the sounds of wind for sure.
Okay. Jimothy won't mention it to anyone.
Okay. Osmanthus, will you mention it to anyone?
He is trying to remember if he's read about anything like this, like voices on the wind or anything of that nature.
Sure. You are more than welcome to roll Arcana check if you'd like.
Give it a try. 10.
Okay. With 10, I mean, you're aware that the like this type of phenomena exists, like that capability is possible. It could be a number of different things. Like it could just you're not really sure exactly how to pin it down. You know that type of magic or something does exist. To what exactly, you're not quite sure. So, and it could be that it's not necessarily a magical thing. Like it could be, you know, something more religious or spiritual. So it's unfortunately not high enough to kind of ascertain a little bit more, but it shouldn't. It doesn't strike you as like, oh, I've never heard this phenomenon before. Like this is impossible. It just requires a little bit more investigation.
He's gonna kind of glance around and see if anyone else appears like they've heard it, or if it's just like him alone who is possibly
Yeah, so
noises.
you kind of like scan your party members, and yeah, I mean, it seems like the only person who kind of observed it is you, Jimothy, unless you want to.
Jimothy's like, I don't think Jimothy's up where everyone else is. He's like back in the back of the cart, so.
Right, so I would say that, from what you can tell, it's only you that's privy to the information. From your perspective, Osmanthus.
Okay. I will go ahead and just try and keep an ear out for it as we approach the town, and if it picks up, I'll definitely say something.
Okay. So, yeah, you start approaching the town, and you see, there's a big sign, kind of like as you're approaching, maybe about 100 or no, about like 200 feet out, as you kind of like see these buildings. You look at some of these buildings, they look pretty rough. Like the wind and like the weather has really beaten them up. They look more like like ice shacks. They every now and then, like when the wind picks up, some of the buildings rattle a little bit. It's and it's dark. It's really dark here. But yeah, the first thing you notice, like 200 feet out, there's a sign that and it's kind of like written in this like really shoddy like paint, just like come in at your own expense. So it's like enter at your own expense is what it says. And then that's so that's like the first thing you notice as you kind of like start approaching this town. Not a very welcoming message.
Any signs that say "Don't Dead" open inside?
No, you got "Don't open undead" inside.
Ooh.
Are they actually undead, or are they just not
No,
dead yet?
Or are they just really exhausted people?
Yes to all of those inquiries.
One way to find out. But yeah, I'll
Does
tell you
Zoran
guys.
go take a look?
I cast Divine Sense. Are there any undead around?
What's your range on that?
Miles.
Don't
I'm
know.
sure.
60 feet.
60 feet. Okay. How long does that last?
Making me look up all sorts of stuff.
It might be relevant.
As an action, you can detect good or evil until the end of my next turn. You can send, so it's 6 seconds.
Okay. In 6 seconds, you don't get that vibe.
Okay.
All right. What are you guys doing?
Well, we've got, 2 freaking bears with us, so I feel like we're gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully the guards here are more accommodating than the guards in Bryn Shander.
Okay. So you guys start kind of walking. Actually, let me pull up I don't have like a map per se, but I have like some of those maps that I've been showing you guys before. I need to add it to the this is a little bit bigger than I want it to be, but I'll kind of show you guys here in a second. So this is Karakhonig. Just so you guys kind of like, I mean, it looks bigger here, but you guys are entering from this side over here, so you see these like, well, these are kind of like dilapidated buildings, but you are kind of like in this area where you see some of these buildings here. So for some reason they add way more buildings than there should be, which from the way they're describing the text, like it doesn't make that much sense. So, but this is just kind of like the shape, kind of like it like wraps around and it does approach the water, which you'll see here eventually. But yeah, I'll just kind of you guys have like a little visual of how to like navigate about the town. It does curve around, but I would say there's way fewer buildings than there are here.
Or maybe for legal reasons, all the residential buildings couldn't be included in the descriptive text.
Yeah, I mean that's also true. That's fair, I guess. But I just thought it was funny. They're just like, oh, it's small and desolate, and I was like, oh, okay, that's some cool language. And it's just like a bunch of buildings bustling, which in its own sense, like it could be. And it's like, oh, it's totally abandoned. But what you do notice as you're kind of like going about most of the buildings, there's like it's even though it's dark, there's no like lights, and some of the, like in Bryn Shander, even in the night there were like some torches, or you could see some lights inside some of the buildings. You don't notice really any lights. Like this town is like, um, practically dead. Like you just hear every now and then the wind pick up, um, and you hear some of the buildings like creak and moan and like rattle a little bit, but you don't really see signs of life. Um, at least in your first couple of steps as you approach the town. What are you guys doing?
Well, this is creepy.
Yeah. Abandoned
I hope
town.
that's the vibe I intend to give.
Can we see if we can find a like a building or something like that is abandoned? I know you said the town seems abandoned, but like, can we find like an intact building that looks like it has a roof and walls and doors and windows that we could?
Right. Okay. Yeah. So,
Shouldn't
yeah, give
we
me a
be
perception
looking
check.
for an inn?
Where are we going to keep our cart?
Yeah. Jimothy, give me a perception check. I like where your head's at.
You got this.
Okay. So with the 17, you do notice, and this is kind of like very bare bones, like, but you do notice that there is a building. It doesn't have windows. It has like, it's like kind of like almost like boarded up, like it has like an opening, like a, I want to say like it doesn't have glass windows. It has like wood, like little doors that you would open, like little shutters. But what you do notice is like how you know it's abandoned is like there is no front door. So you hear like the wind enter, and it like kind of like circulates inside, and you notice that there's like a bunch of like bottles and a bunch of trash, kind of like in this building. Before you can tell, no one's really occupying it. So yeah, you do find a kind of like empty building.
Does it look like it's been abandoned for like years, or like people just grabbed their stuff and they left for like a week or something? It looks like it's been like years or something.
You can't. I'll say this: you can't quite tell how long it's been abandoned, but it looks like it's been abandoned for, I would say, maybe at least a couple weeks, maybe a couple months. But it's not like it's like, oh, ye old, abandoned building from 50 years ago.
Right. There's not like decades of dust or something on top of everything or something.
Right. Right.
Okay.
And this is like a sorry, to kind of like, it's like a single level, like one level, and it seems like it's just like one large room. I would say it's maybe like 15 by 15 or 15 by 20 feet. So it's just one large room for the most part.
This could have been a schoolhouse back in the prairie.
It could have been a school stuff. Yes, could have been a very tiny schoolhouse.
It's a small town.
It is a small town.
Population?
I
5
do
or
have that
7?
number.
But so far, we've seen no signs of life anywhere.
Yeah, no light.
Yeah,
or
you
anything.
haven't seen signs of life. Yeah, really anywhere. From your first, you can kind of like, I guess like from where you are in town, just to kind of give you a little bit more insight. So you found this building, I would say, like going on this path over here. So if you'd like, you could wrap around the other direction and kind of go to your to the south.
Does this surprise us that it's empty? I mean, is that what we were expecting? Was to find a desolate town when we were talking about Karakonig to people in?
Yeah, I'm looking up what our
No,
mission was in here.
we were supposed to get rid of ruffians. in
Yeah.
Karakonig. So, I mean,
Right,
I
but
would
my
think if we were
expectation
getting
was that was a town. I mean, not necessarily an abandoned town. That's why I'm saying, should we be
Yeah,
surprised
it
to
is.
see no one there?
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. Like you figured like it either is like a little bit more. Yeah, I guess that's a good point. A little bit more rampant, a little bit more activity. Like it was almost overthrown by ruffians. But you're not quite sure.
I guess I'll keep walking down the path and just to see if I see any buildings that look like they're still populated. Otherwise, I guess just if we find another yeah, we'll just keep going until we feel like we've gone through. If it's a small town, we'll just go until we see we've found someone,
Yeah.
found an inhabited
Okay.
building.
So you keep moving around, and then kind of you're going to the other path a little bit that wraps around to the southeast, kind of like approaching the water. And you do notice somebody from a distance. You see that they're holding like a lantern. You can't quite see their face, but you do see somebody moving about. They're moving very slowly.
I'll
And
approach them.
okay, do you say anything, or are you just kind of like?
No, I'm gonna go quietly towards them. Like I would
Okay.
prefer not to like bring attention to myself until I get close enough to see what they're doing or who they are.
Okay, yeah. So
I'll go
they're
sneakily,
kind of
you
like,
might say.
sure, yeah. Give me a stealth check. Hell yeah.
And his name is John C.
Well, it's not very stealthy when you've got that like as your lead in, though.
Yeah, you start walking in, and the guy's like,
It's
whoa,
the
what
opposite of stealthy, actually.
Yeah, you crush it. You somehow start levitating off the ground, and you don't make any sounds on the snow. No, you're able to kind of like, he's kind of like walking between buildings. That's the first thing you notice. Like he's kind of like goes in between two buildings, goes around, comes back, and you see him, and you get about, I would say, like maybe you kind of like stealth your way onto one of the other sides of the building and just kind of look, and you notice that it is a dragonborn, a silver dragonborn. He's got like his hood up, he's kind of bundled up, but you see, you kind of like see the face snout. You see some of the scales, you see the color. Looks a little bit older from what you can tell. But again, I'm not sure how much experience you have from Dragonborn, but a little bit older.
So not being from around here, but the time that I have been here, have I seen any other Dragonborn anywhere, like in Bryn Shander or?
Not really. They're not too common, honestly. At least from what you've seen here in the north, like it's not like it's bustling with.
All right. Well, I'd like to follow this person for a minute or two, like at a little distance, and just see what they're doing. Like, are they looking? Does it look like they're looking for something? Are they lost? Are they?
Yeah. So okay. Also, and
Zombie?
all right. What are the rest of you doing? So you kind of see Jimothy. I'll say he kind of like steps out. You're not quite sure, and then you see what he's doing. He's kind of like keeping his distance away as he's kind of observing this individual. You all of you can't quite tell if he's a dragonborn, but you see that he seems to be following an individual. So what are the rest of you doing?
Well, I mean, we're not
Get in on
actually.
this, but you'll also have to roll stealth checks. But let's your guys' call, or you could be like, "Hello."
So we're still by the entrance, right, of that town.
Yeah, I'll say that you
In
guys
the
are kind of
corner.
by the entrance, and then Jimothy kind of like is a little bit more south of you
Okay.
guys.
Do I
So-
see any like building to climb on top of to try and get like a vantage point from a roof or something?
Sure. Yeah, you notice that there is actually at least one building that seems to be a little bit bigger and larger than the rest. Kind of
Is
like
that building just kind of to the north, right by the entrance?
Yeah. It's kind of like towards the entrance. Yeah, you notice that building in particular. That has a little bit of a vantage point, and you could actually, you could attempt to kind of like loop around and see, if you get up there and get a vantage point.
Yeah, let me try and take a look.
Okay. Yeah. So let's give me an athletics check or acrobatics to see if you can get up there.
I had already clicked on athletics when you gave me the option
Thanks, sorry.
for acrobatics, but
should've
no
given you
worries. That already happened.
Okay, so a 10. Yeah, so you don't really. That's kind of the tough part. You don't really see. It's not like it's got like a, like a fire escape ladder or anything like that. Like it's not something you can. So you kind of like have to like climb on the side of the building, and I don't know if you noticed it. Like once it gets really, really cold, like it's very hard to kind of like grip something with your fingers and try to like. It's just more difficult. At least I find it more difficult to do so. So
Yeah.
that's what's keeping you from kind of like getting a good hold and kind of be able to scale up.
I suppose that's what I would be doing. Is
Okay.
attempting that
Zoran,
while
Silo.
while they're doing something.
So, are we able to actually see Jimothy, or does he like stealth out of our sight as he goes to watch?
Okay, so I'll say this: that you notice that Jimothy kind of like, he steps away and then like disappears into the ether, practically, but you notice that like as he kind of like steps away in the direction, you notice that there is to be some other individual, which you can tell it's not Jimothy because they're holding a lantern, kind of roaming about. It doesn't seem that they've noticed you, but you are at least privy to them. So I guess like what are you three kind of doing in response to that?
So I want to stay near the cart. So like I'll let the others
Okay,
do
perfect.
their thing, I guess, and then I mean, I assumed the cart was maybe staying still. I didn't think that the polar bears could be quiet.
Yeah, I mean, it's they're like breathing and like they're just
Right. So I think
on about, but they're not like.
yeah.
I would say that like where you are, like towards the relation of the abandoned building. I'm assuming that's kind of where you kind of stationed yourself.
Yeah.
They, it's person hasn't like roamed around to come towards you, so I'll say that you're a little bit farther away if that's what you want to do. But yeah, I mean, if the person like comes to the abandoned building, yeah, like it's not like they're gonna be like, oh, I can't see.
Right. So I'm just gonna stay near the cart, and if we're
Okay.
inside a building, I'm fine with that or whatever. So
Perfect. Okay. Daniel,
Oz
what's that?
and Jimothy and Bofades want to go forward, I'm just gonna stay here until I hear screams or something, I guess.
That's always a good call.
I think Oz would stay in the cart
Okay.
at this point.
Sure.
I mean, I have line of sight of like Jimothy, right?
Not right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I'm not gonna prepare anything. I was thinking I could like prepare my, bow or something if I could still see him, but I'm not gonna worry about it.
No
Okay.
one's got line of sight on Jimothy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jimothy's gone. Like
Yep.
you saw that
It's all good.
Jimothy stepped away, and it's like he like disappeared into the snow.
That's okay. One less mouth to feed. Just kidding.
What the fuck?
I'm kidding.
Wow.
That was a real 180 there.
Just kidding, Jimothy. You have like 10 muffins for yourself, and you're like pretty obsessed with them. So
Muffin Man.
yes, I
Like,
think
are you
you're
sure
just-
he still has 10 muffins? He's probably like, gorged on them.
Yeah, I would say at least Jimothy, you've eaten 2 more since you've gotten here. But
All right. For a halfling, a muffin is like a stack of pancakes. So
yeah. All right, Daniel, Silo, what are you doing?
I'm just kind of standing outside the building, just kind of keeping a watch and
Okay.
looking around what everybody else is doing.
Okay. All right, we'll come back to Jimothy then. So Jimothy, you see him keep kind of looking about, and then you notice that he kind of like stops, takes a minute, kind of like looks back to make sure no one's following him. He doesn't see you, but he kind of noticed that like he like turned around sharply. You notice that he's a little bit paranoid, like a little bit on edge. But he continues his patrol, and he kind of like loops back.
I'm gonna be watching for other people too, because I feel like if he thinks that there might be other people here, then there must be other people here.
Sure. Give me a perception check.
So I just want to make sure I'm not only paying attention to him.
Sure, I like it.
What the hell's going on? Tell me what the hell is going on?
Couldn't have said it better myself, Kevin. Fuck.
Okay. Yeah. What was the roll?
I don't even know what happened. Like, I hit the button once, but it shows...
You got an 18. That's what I'm seeing here.
Yeah,
anyway.
that was weird because, yeah, I saw 2 dice rolls. One of them was a 1. That one didn't even register in the chat, but there's like another roll of 13 for a total
rolled
of
it
18.
rolled it with advantage for some reason.
Sounds like you got lucky.
So it should be a 6, not a 13. As Kevin so eloquently just demonstrated.
What the hell's going on?
What the hell's going on? Okay. You're not aware of anyone else. It's not like you're like, oh, I can't see it. Like, it doesn't seem like to you that there's someone else kind of moving about.
Is it like that halfling luck racial trait?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. So 18.
Oh. Okay.
I guess it automatically does it.
That's awesome. Okay. That's cool. Okay, yeah, so with an 18, so you actually do notice something. So believe it or not, you don't see somebody else, but you kind of look down, kind of like as you're stepping about, and you're like, man, I swear I didn't see that before. But you notice that there's a small, like a smaller set of footprints. They look like humanoid shaped footprints, but they look like not like an adult sized, but smaller, like maybe like a size 5 or 6 shoe.
So like halfling adult.
Yeah, like about your size maybe.
Or a child?
Or a child.
I don't know.
But
I'm standing outside the building.
Yours. I'll say that.
Okay, they're not. I was gonna say I'm not like an idiot, and I'm like seeing my own steps and now I'm getting nervous.
Yeah, you see it like towards like you're on one side of the building, like one side of of some of these buildings, and then like you see on the other side, you're kind of like you look back, you kind of look around. You're like, what is he looking at? And then you're like, whoa, hang on a second. I see some steps there. That's odd. And you can tell they're not the Dragonborns, but
is it snowing right now?
It's not snowing right now, actually. You
Has it been
noticed
snowing?
that
When
it's
do
kind
I
of
know
like
when the last time it snowed was?
recently, yeah. It's like it's kind of weird because like you approach, it was snowing, and then there's like a couple flurries for like 5 minutes, and then it kind of like stops. But you would say it probably snowed maybe like 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. So you could tell that these particular prints are relatively fresh.
Do I see where they go?
You notice that they kind of like go in between 2 buildings. So you can kind of follow that, or and they kind of like wrap around. You're not quite sure. It's dark, right? So
I want to keep my eye on the Dragonborn, but I also want to occasionally keep an eye on between the two buildings where these footprints went. These
Perfect. Okay.
trail.
Okay. So you watch the Dragonborn keep going, and then Bofades, you notice that the Dragonborn is kind of like coming around the corner, and he's kind of like moving his way towards the large building that where you're at. You
Okay.
also notice this, Jimothy. Yeah, anything you want to do? Do you want to be discreet, Bofades? You want to be like, yo, what's happening?
I would like to try and
an option.
hide.
You're gonna try to hide?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, is there like a door or like something that I could easily hide in around the building?
You could try to open some of these other doors for some of these buildings. You're not sure if they're abandoned or not. You could try to go into this back of this large building. It does seem to have like a back door.
Yeah, let me try that.
Okay. So I try to open this back door. Unfortunately, it's locked.
Okay.
So
In that case, I'm just gonna try and hide. Do I see
Okay.
anything out in the area that I can hide in though, like an out shelter or like a barrel or
You're
anything? But
you're kind of like your best bet is probably to hide behind the building.
Okay.
You don't see like a bunch of like barrels or like boxes or anything. You could kind of like jump.
all right. Yeah, I'll
Okay.
try and hide away from this guy since I know that
Okay. Give me a
Being
stealth
followed.
check, please.
Oh yeah.
Ew.
22.
Okay. All right. Let's just do just for dice rolling's sake. Make sure he doesn't observe you. He does not observe you, or you can tell anyway. Rolled pretty poorly.
Yes.
Show my hand here. So you notice that he's like, you notice that he kind of like reaches in his pocket as he's kind of like holding the lantern, and he pulls out a large set of keys. Like a huge set of keys, like maybe 50 keys or something.
But there's only 4 buildings.
and so he kind of like goes through and then like picks one of them and then like opens up the door and kind of like steps inside.
Okay.
You do hear
The door to which building?
the large building, the kind of like this building here. Give me a perception check, Bofades, please. Okay. He's not trying to be really discreet, but you do hear him say, "Is like, oh, thank goodness, not tonight," and then like steps inside.
Okay.
So it seems like he's relieved. And that's all you hear. But you do hear like some relief in his like voice.
Okay. And he went in. I'm assuming shut the door and all that.
Yeah, you shut the door, all that. There's no like all these windows. Like most buildings here don't really have windows. They just have like doors you kind of like push out.
Took my very next question away from me right there.
Yeah, so you can't like peek in. You do notice that because like these aren't really super well insulated buildings. You do notice that there seems to be some light peering out. So if you want to like kind of like approach one of these cracks to see if you can hear or maybe like see something, you notice that like it's not perfect, but
Let me try and sneak up to one of these cracks to see if I can look through and see what's going on in there since I know it's lit up.
See what's cracking.
see what's cracking.
Yeah, boy.
Okay. All right, we'll come back to you here in a second. Jimothy.
All right.
You see this. Yeah, you see this Dragonborn enter this building. You do hear him say something. You can't quite tell, kind of from where you're distanced, how you're keeping yourself. what he said, but you do hear him kind of like say something, and then go inside.
Hmm. All right. I'll watch the building he goes into for a minute, and then I'm gonna go try to follow those footprints I found.
Okay. All right. So we'll come back to you, Buffettes. Yeah, give me another perception check, please. Yeah. Rolling rocks. All right.
Yeah, feeling pretty good right now.
Feeling pretty good. Okay. So, you kind of look. It's like very hard. Like it's like you see like maybe like half your eye can like see something. You notice that this seems to be kind of like a home office. Like you see that he's kind of like like an office. He's got like a desk, not a great desk. There seems to be some documents, kind of like on the desk. Um, he's he's got his like lantern set up somewhere, and he has like another like candle that he's lit, kind of like near the documents, and he's kind of just sitting, reading some of the papers. He's home alone. Um, you notice that there's like a staircase that kind of goes up, but yeah, this seems to be some sort of office building type, at least on this lower level.
Okay. It looks like he's just working in there. And do I hear him saying anything more, or is it just kind of all quiet?
Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, he's not really saying. Every now and then you kind of like see him like scratch at his head, and like he seems to be frustrated. You're not sure what, and you can't really see what's on the documents. But yeah, that's he's just reading every now and then. He kind of like he has like this notebook that he opens up and he writes a couple of things in. But that's really all he's doing.
Okay.
So I'll let you observe as long as you want, but that's what he's, at least for a couple minutes.
No, I'll head back to the cart.
Okay.
Just so I can, relay that information to the group once
Okay.
everyone circles back. If everyone
Sure, okay.
circles back, I should say.
All right. So I'll say let's tackle that first. So we'll say that he doesn't notice you at all. He's kind of like in his own world. So I'll let you say that you kind of move back, get to the building where Asilo is kind of like standing a sentry. Like you could just see him just standing there. And you see kind of like Zoran kind of like taking care of the polar bears, making sure they're not too impatient. And yeah, you approach them, and Osmanthus, he's sitting there, kind of in the seat. I don't know, taking notes or something.
He's looking at the polar bears, looking at Zoran, take care of the polar bears, and just kind of wondering, where she gets that energy from.
Fair enough. Yeah, she's exhausted, but she just keeps powering through. Okay. But yeah, you see Buffettes show up, the three of you. Assuming you relay that information.
Yeah, I'll just relay the information to them about the kind of what's in that building and the interesting thing that he said on there, because that seems very surprising and makes me feel like he just went to go check on something, or is relieved maybe that the ruffians aren't coming back or haven't been back or something. So I'll just kind of relay that to the group.
Do we want to go talk to him? He probably knows more about what's going on in this town than we do.
Yeah. So when I was looking at him, was he armed?
You didn't see any weapons on him. And you didn't. I'll say this. I'll just carry your check over. You didn't see like somewhere on like in like a room like hanging. Like it doesn't have like a, oh, here's my axe in the corner or anything like that. So it didn't seem like he was armed.
Okay. Yeah, I think we could go talk to him.
Okay. Is everyone wanting to do that? Soren, Asilo, you guys gonna go or stick around or?
I think we should try and talk to someone here and find out what's going on. And if he's awake and available, we should start with him.
Okay.
Right.
Soren?
The only person we've seen so far.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if there's a way to maybe close the door. I don't know. Like, I just don't want to leave the cart just here with all of our valuable stuff. So I don't know if we have a tarp of some sort to put over.
Well, I mean,
Okay,
I
yeah,
suppose
give me-
some-
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I could stay with the cart.
Yeah, but Fadis, if you want to stay with the cart, you could do that.
I mean, but you know where to go, so.
We don't know where you went. I mean, we have a general idea. You said that building over there.
Yeah.
The big one
that building
over there.
yonder.
Yeah, just walk
Okay,
over there,
so-
hang a left. No,
I mean, you guys can go. I could stay here and close the door behind you guys or whatever. Just
yeah,
let
so
me know.
just kind of like a little description here. So this building, while like the door is open, like it's not like you can fit the cart in there. There is a bunch of crap in there. You could investigate for a cart or a tarp if you'd like, or something like that. It does have a bunch of miscellaneous crap in there. So
Yeah, we're
All
kind of
17.
looking for a cart cloak of invisibility. It's a cloak
Yes.
of invisibility that
Yeah,
only works
if
on
we could
carts.
find one of those, that'd be great.
okay, the DC might be a little bit higher specifically for that.
Okay.
But for like a regular tarp, it could be a little bit lower if you want to take that risk.
Is Jimothy back yet?
But yeah, we're about to get jump back to Jimothy
Oh,
here in a second.
got it.
But he's not back. Okay, investigation 10. Yeah, you find tarp. It's not large enough to cover the polar bears.
No, I just want to cover up just what's in our cart. I'm
Okay.
hoping the polar bears will scare
Yeah.
off anyone, but maybe we can tie up the polar bears like similar to a horse to something. I
There's
don't
not
know.
really like a post right in front. But yeah, you can kind of like bring him back if you'd like. And then just
Yeah,
kind of like put the
I don't know.
tarp there.
Yeah, like maybe a tree. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just trying to see what I can do with these polar bears.
Yeah, let's just say, okay, you kind of like put the polar bears in like the most discreet position relative to the building. And then for the sake of, kind of moving things along, give me, I don't want to say like maybe a sleight of hand check, I guess, to kind of like make it discreet. Okay, so with an 18, yeah, you think you have some idea. They're like, all right, I think
Yeah.
nobody's gonna mess with this or find this. Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean the polar bears are white. It's snowing, so like obviously they'll just blend in. Is what Zoran's thinking.
Perfect. Okay.
Like for sure.
All right.
And they're
So-
probably tired and ready to take a nap anyway.
Yes, that's what I'm
Yeah,
hoping
I mean,
for.
Yeah, you
And
kind of notice
it's-
that like
and
as
it's
soon as
dark
like
out.
you set the
Yes.
tarp, you kind of get off. They like, get down, and kind of like lay down in the snow. Okay, so I'll say that you get all four of you are kind of moving back to the building, and then we're gonna jump to Jimothy here. All right, Jimothy. So you see this man, or sorry, this Dragonborn, go into this building, and you're like, okay, well, let's see where these kind of like steps, tracks, footprints go. So give me give me a survival check. Let's see if we can track this. 18. Okay, wow. Like a +1, but natty 17. Let's go. So yeah, you're able to. Yeah, you kind of notice that these, while smaller, they're kind of dense. Like they're deep footprints, so it's not too hard to kind of follow along. But they start leaving town.
Start leaving what?
Say that again?
They start leaving what?
The town. Like they go away from the town. They start going kind of back where you came. actually, scratch that. No, I'm sorry. They kind of they start leaving town. It seems like they're going from where you came, and then they start heading north, um, northeast. Like they're going towards the cairn, the mountain. You can follow them as long as you'd like, but that seems like where the direction they're going. So you follow them for a little bit. It looks like, oh, they're leaving town.
I guess I'll glance around that area and just see if I see where the tracks maybe came back. But if I don't find tracks like returning, then I'll go back and find the rest of the group.
Okay. So yeah, you follow it for like, let's say 5-10 minutes. Does that seem reasonable for you?
Yeah, a few minutes. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you say you follow it for 5 minutes, and you notice like it just keeps going. And you kind of look out, and you don't see anyone. Like you don't see like a body, and like it's like a very like it keeps like terrain wise, you're kind of like on the top of this hill, kind of like where this town is, and it kind of like slopes down a little bit before it starts rising up with all these rocks. And you kind of like look out, and you have like a pretty good vantage point, and you don't see like, oh, there's the person there walking. You don't see that. And the footprints just keep going, but you don't see who's making them.
And it's left town.
It's left town, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll go back to the party.
Okay, sounds good. But no, that's pretty huge actually. So yeah, make sure you note that you have that info. So I'll say okay. You come back. I guess just for the sake of bringing you guys back together, I'm not gonna have like, oh, I don't see the party. I'll go to the cart and then blah blah blah. We'll say that you find them coming towards this building.
All right.
When you kind of meet up, do you relay any of your information and keep it to yourself, and vice versa? Do the rest of you kind of update what you've seen to Jimothy?
Yeah, I'll mention that I saw the guy go into his house and that or the building, and then I followed some tracks for a while that seemed to go out of town. There's smaller tracks, like maybe a young person or someone small.
And you saw bags and stuff? Is that how you knew that they were leaving town? Or if they're just going for a stroll?
I said I saw footprints leaving town. I didn't say a person left.
Okay.
Footprints leaving town.
Yeah, there was a smear of just snow alongside the tracks. That must have been a bag, like a knapsack. Far too large for this child.
So right, so you pass that information. So you so right, yeah, you approach this building, you like knock on the door, do you kick it down? Do you be like, hey, open the fuck up, and like, just aggressively, or do you do like a very faint knock? Or do
housekeeping.
Yeah, do a little housekeeping. Housekeeping?
I mean, I'll let Bofades take the lead on it since he's the one who saw the house.
Okay, Bofades, what do you do?
Just knock on the door.
Okay. As an aggressive knock,
No, a friendly knock, like
like a
like
Bofades,
Bofades would have practiced during his caroling years.
Okay, so you do like this ridiculous like two-handed knock. It's got like a guitar riff in there somehow.
Yeah.
Speed bag in the door knocker.
Yeah, you're speed bagging. And then you hear like somebody click something. Like you hear it click from the other side, and then you hear somebody shout, "Who's out there?"
And I will say, give him my name, say I'm Bofades, and I just got into town. traveling, and I saw you head into this building, and just looking for a place to stay, and I see no one else in this town.
And he like opens the door quickly. You see he's holding a crossbow, like a hand crossbow. He's like, and he looks at you. He's like, "Whoa! You didn't tell me there were more of you." He's like, "What is this?"
Dumb.
And he like points it towards like your face. He's like,
Oh.
"Are you?"
So I'll explain, the circumstances that brought us here, the call for ruffians, in Karakonig, or needing to be dispersed from Karakonig, and just say that we're here to help, and you didn't seem very ruffian-like to me.
Okay. So as you're like kind of like muddling through this, yeah, Silo, what are you saying?
I was gonna say, can I see how he's reacting to this information?
Yeah, sure. So you kind of like look at him, and you notice that like his guard like kind of like drops, like he's like, oh, okay, and he kind of like starts slowly lowering the hand crossbow, and he kind of looks at you, he's like, oh, okay, wow, I didn't actually think anybody would come. Oh shit, okay, yeah, come inside quickly, and he kind of like ushers you in. And he like closes the door, and he kind of like you didn't hear this before, but like he has like a 2x4 that he kind of like has like kind of like blocking the door, and he kind of sat back up. And he's just like he kind of like looks around. I don't really have any spots to sit in, but you're more welcome to take a seat on the ground. So okay, yeah. So I'm Trovis. I'm speaker. I'm the speaker of Karakonig. So you've probably seen my notice. And he's just kind of like confused. He's just like, I didn't. He was really surprised that somebody actually came. Okay. So he kind of looks at you, Buffet. He's like, you don't. No offense, but you don't seem like a mercenary type. He kind of looks. He kind of like points towards a silo. He's like, he seems more equipped for battle. But
Offensive.
are you guys all here for the notice?
Appearances
why do
may
you
be
think I travel?
deceiving.
Why do you think I travel with him?
Appearances may be deceiving, but we're here to help, Travis.
No, it's Trovis.
Oh, I apologize.
Zoran is going to ask, like, the town seems pretty quiet, like there's no one here. Like, where are these ruffians that you're talking about?
Oh,
and where are all your townspeople?
Well, oh gosh, so that's so yeah, this is a tough time. A lot of people have left, just kind of up and left. I don't know how many. I haven't counted since. We have one inn that's still open, and then really it's just me and a couple other families that just don't really have anywhere else to go. But yeah, there have been some kidnappings. But you're not gonna believe this. But we haven't seen the who's causing this. Like, I haven't seen anybody. We know that something's been stolen. We see. I don't know if you saw the kind of like the broken down building, kind of like entering town. You did notice that there was some building that was kind of like broken, dilapidated, and so one of these buildings are set afire. But we haven't seen any culprits. But we every now and then we hear sounds like whispers of I don't know. I really I wish I could explain more of what's going on, but
And all of these things happen at night, or you guys are
yeah, it seems
noticing? Okay.
it seems to be happening at night. I'm sorry, who are you?
I'm Zoran.
Okay, and the rest of you, I'm sorry, I didn't catch any of your names.
A silo.
Oh, Fades.
All right.
Osmanthus, it's real cold up here.
Yes, yes. So yes, he kind of looks at. He's like, oh yeah, you're all Southerners, and then you, he kind of points to the halfling. Yeah, you sir.
Yeah, I'll step in between, like, from between people's legs, and I'm Jimothy.
Oh well, yes. It's nice to meet all of you. But yeah, this is odd, but and it's just between you and me. He kind of like whispers, and even though he knows he's in his own home, but he's just like, I have a feeling it's that it's one of Zardarok's kids who's causing this. You hear the name?
Do any of us
Do
recognize
we
that name at all?
recognize the name?
No, you actually haven't. You haven't explicitly heard the name, but he's like, he's just like. Anyhow, he's one of those. He's like a dark dwarf. You know what I'm talking about? Have you dark dwarf,
Like-
Durgar? I think that's what they're called.
Like he's been in the sun too long.
Maybe no, not like that.
Is there a coal mine around here?
There, well, yes and no. There are multiple mines in these, and I'm assuming you saw the cairn, Kelvern's cairn as you approach town, but there are different mining locations, a couple, and there's an outpost not too far from here.
So he might just be dirty from the mines.
Well, sure. Well, no, their skins. I don't know. Maybe you're. I don't know. He's kind of like he's no expert on this. He just knows that there should be like a distinction. I know you're just messing with him, but like he's like he's not sure himself. Like you're making him second guess himself. But
Have any of us heard about like dark dwarves or like the name that he used, Durgar? Like, does that sound?
Zardarok?
like, are you asking like have you heard of that or anything?
Yeah, have we heard of that or?
I'll say that that's you've heard of it. You're not. It's not something specific that you know about the North per se. So that doesn't know any better. I like it. Okay. So, but you have heard of that before. That they're very much kind of like under. I don't want to say like underdark, but like more subterranean. You have heard of it before. I'll say you, Elsmanthus, in particular, probably are more privy to it. But, but anyhow,
What makes you think that it's not your typical dwarf and that it's one of the more kind of subterranean dwarves?
Well, I haven't seen them, and it's just kind of word of mouth. But one of the sisters who runs the Northern Light. Oh, I'm sorry. The Northern Light is one of the inns that we have here. She claims that she saw one of them, and she claims that they stole something of hers. And I believe her. I do believe her. I just haven't seen it myself. I don't want to discredit her or anything like that. But if you'd like, I could go take you to her and you can inquire more. I really don't know honestly, like I said, I didn't expect anybody to come. So, however you want to handle this,
So,
uh,
Trovis, what do you
when-
guys do at night? Like, do you walk around a perimeter, or are there like when was the last time something happened, whether it's a kidnapping or a stolen item or whatever?
it seems like it happens every couple days. Either a person's taken, which is horrifying. That happens maybe more once a week. It's been happening for a couple weeks. Well, oh, the days is kind of mixed together. Maybe months. Maybe a couple months. I don't know.
But it's not the same area in town, right? It's like your whole town. It's all of Caer Koenig.
Yes, yes. Well, I haven't. I mean, honestly, you're the first outside contact that I've gotten. It seems like, well, we had some sort of a mailing system, and I don't know. No one seems to be responding. And I had to take, and I understand because I put the sign up. I just didn't want anybody to get hurt, and he seems to be upset. Like he's like you're getting him like riled up. He's like by him manifesting like all these things like that's happening in his town. Like it's like eliciting a response that he's like he feels like he's failed like as a speaker, and he's like getting more and more flustered. Anyhow, I've been patrolling the towns at night, and I put it out a curfew and told people to try to make as little sound as possible. And yeah, I don't know. Anyhow, I go patrol, and you can tell like he looks exhausted, like he hasn't really slept for very long. He's like, any chance I get, I try to go patrol, and we had sort of a small militia, but I would say I could probably muster 5 soldiers, if maybe 10. Well, I'd have to check. But the thing is, like, we don't see this. We don't see it happen. I can't protect anybody.
So, Trovis, I guess if we were to come across something nefarious, are you wanting us to keep them alive and like
No,
you want to try them, or
no, you handle it.
okay?
Look, honestly, whatever it takes for it to stop happening.
I mean, with these, so a kidnapping implies like they're wanting money or something. I mean, do these people have any letters or something saying like where we're supposed to like collect these people if we pay this ransom?
That's the thing. I don't know.
Okay, that's okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't. I mean, this is a smaller town. We don't have much, and whatever valuables, like physical, like they stole one of the lights at the Northern Light, very famous light. They steal some gold. One thing they have noticed that they've stolen is some people. They work at some of these mines, and they. It seems to be that some of the mine workers. I don't know if you've heard. Have you heard of this called Chardolin? Chardolin. Have you heard of this valuable material?
Have
I'm
any
sorry.
of us heard?
No, no. So you're from the south, yeah. But Chardolin, and I'll spell this out here in a second, because I have to look it up. Chardolin is it's like a. You know how like when you have to forge something, you require material, right? Steel, iron, all that.
Oh, that kind of forge.
and then he's like, but sometimes when you try to make like magical weapons, you use different types of materials to infuse it, whatever. What if you had a material that was already innately magical that you could work with? That's what Chardolin is. It's an innately magical iron. You could view it. It's very specific to the north, and it's got incredible magical properties, incredibly valuable. But yeah. Anyhow, some of them claim that some of their stockpiles of that, or some of their own collections, or things that they've made from Chardolin, like it's a very beautiful material, have been stolen. But that, and among other things, but it seems to be that's the more prominent thing that's been stolen. Which is odd because we have a couple miners, but we're primarily a fishing town. So it is a bit odd.
Well,
Any
Trovis, do you have any
Chardolin
sort of?
fish?
Sorry, say that again?
Any Chardolin fish?
No, it's a raw material.
It's a raw
I'm
material.
sorry, that's an odd question.
You said it's incredibly magical. I don't know if
No,
that
you're good. You're
could
good.
maybe mutate the fish in the waters, perhaps.
Oh, I see. No, that has to be. It's honestly one thing that's special about it is that it prefers to be in the cold. It's a very. Some say it's from the Frostmaiden herself. Others say it comes from a deep. I don't know. There used to be an ancient wizard here that used to rule these lands. Some say it was a creation of his. I don't know. A bunch of whatever. But anyhow, very valuable material. Any other information I can provide to help you? And he kind of like looks to Zorn. You were gonna say something?
Well, Trovis, if we're gonna be like patrolling the streets, do you have anything that could indicate that we're with you? We don't want to like scare off your population or something, or have them thinking we're the ruffians or something.
Oh no, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
I mean, if there are only like 20 people left, we could probably step outside and say like, "Hey, these are some allies."
Yeah, you could do that. I don't know if you want to draw that kind of attention to yourself, but I could. I guess that you do, but I could if you'd like. Here, actually, and he kind of like goes upstairs. Give me one moment. So you're kind of like downstairs by yourselves for like a second.
Okay, yeah. At that point,
We
I'm
show
gonna.
everything.
Yeah, I'm just gonna whisper to like Asilo or like Oz, like, should we be worried about our cart if like they keep stealing this like magical weapons and like.
I think we should. Maybe we can use it as bait. Like we could, just because the stuff's on the cart now doesn't mean that someone like Asilo couldn't take some of that stuff and hide it elsewhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
I think maybe we should speak with his friend at the inn and get some lodging for the evening and start on this in the morning when we can all think a little more clearly.
Yeah, that's also thinking that you guys are, at this point, I would say, you probably also all incurred a point of exhaustion if you keep going. So if you guys want to start patrolling tonight, you'll incur a point of exhaustion. If you want to go to the inn, sleep, tackle this in the morning.
We'll get whatever. Yeah, we'll wait until he comes back down, and then we'll let him know we can meet the townspeople maybe tomorrow if the kidnappings and the stolen items tend to happen at night. Maybe we can gather in some town square or something.
So I would say it's about like 1, 2 in the morning. I'll say this because I think maybe you guys are downstairs. You have a second. You could look at anything on his desk. He has like a bookshelf. If you guys want to peek at anything, he's got like a trunk.
I'll take a quick look around the room, see if anything jumps out at me.
I'll look at the bookshelf.
Okay. Give me both of you. I'll say Osmanthus, give me an investigation check, and then Asilo, give me a perception. It's kind of like general looking around.
It's a room.
Oh no. Okay.
These are some books.
Can I check the desk? That's what I said I was gonna.
Sure. Yeah. Give me. Are you kind of like gonna ruffle through some of these documents, or you're just gonna like look at.
Yeah.
The difference
I'm
between
gonna go ahead and
investigation and
peer through.
perception.
Maybe crack open a drawer too. You know what
Okay,
I'm saying?
yeah, give me an investigation then. Jimothy, when you stepped out, did you want to look at anything while he went upstairs?
You're
He
muted.
can't hear you.
Actually, I might go back outside.
Oh, you might go outside. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back outside and watch the cart. Actually, I'm gonna get back in the cart, and I'm going to.
This is perfect.
I'm gonna watch.
He mentioned something valuable. He's like, "Oh yeah, there might be something incredibly valuable." He's
Well,
like,
so
"All right,
how
I'm
far?
out."
Yeah, so how far is the cart from like where we are now? Like, is it a
I would say
pretty?
about like 200 feet. 200 feet away.
It's already been stolen.
Right, that's what I'm wondering. Like, did it already get stolen and our
It's up
polar
on
bears are
blocks.
dead? Yes.
It's a bomb block. You see the polar bears also on blocks. They're
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say Jimothy, he steps out. Yeah, Silo, Osmanthus, you kind of look around, you don't really see too much. Osmanthus, you see that he has a bunch of books. Some of them look like they're just kind of like town's information, like maybe like some of like trades and deals. And then there's some books that you could look at if you want, but you don't really seem like you have enough time, that they're not like labeled, or they don't have the titles on them. So
that's a no. You don't not
Yeah.
label
Well,
a book.
you don't see it on the spine anyway. That's what I'll say that.
They could be journals. You don't know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, journal
just-
1, journal 2.
Anyhow, Buffettes, though, on the other hand, you with an intelligence check, you kind of look at this. You look at some of the documents and you see that some of them are just kind of like letters requesting help. But you do notice that there is. Oh yeah, I wanted to throw the name out there. You do notice that there is a letter. From an individual called Zardarok. And then you do notice an order for the material Chardolin. You don't really have enough time. You kind of hear his steps coming down, but you could, if you wanted to, take take the letter. You might notice it. And you do notice this other document that he was referenced to in regards to Chardolin. So there's these two letters. You could take one of them, or if you want to keep the conversation going, or maybe mention something else. You're privy to that. I'll let you decide.
I was gonna say, since I see Oz and Buffettes like going through stuff in a silo too, I'm gonna meet Trovis at the stairs or whatever, like try and just
Give him some time.
distract him a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. Give me really check. What are you doing? Like, what are you gonna be like? Yo, hey, my guy.
Don't come down here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be like, hey, do you have like a glass of water or like a bathroom in here, or like, hey, this house is not like, I don't know, just try and make small talk or some shit. Yeah.
How about that weather?
Yeah.
Wow, that's the. Imagine somebody's coming down the stairs and you just hear, "Hey, you got a glass of water and where's the bathroom? And, how's the weather?" Just like string all these sentences along.
Everything together. Yeah.
I am.
Also, what's your favorite color? And you know, have you ever been to the South before? Because this weather sucks. Should take a vacation.
Okay. All right, Buffettes. Yeah, which one? Would you like to take both? Would you like to take one? Would you like to look at one? What are you doing?
Whichever was the one that had that guy's name on it.
Okay, so you pick up the letter, and it says the following, and I'll include this here in a second. But it says that Tellus It says, to Speaker Trovis, as you are aware, we have been stealing or on the search for something in particular. We want that map to that particular stockpile. Hand that over, and we will return anybody in your town that's been missing from your town. If you do not, this will continue, and my son will carry out the task. And then it just signed Zardarok, and then you see a last name.
Am I to take from that letter that he's taken this entire town hostage?
Yes, he's trying to find a map for, some stuff that leads
It
it to.
seems like so much effort.
Yes, but he knows that the map is here somewhere.
I'm tired just thinking about it. Okay.
Oh, that's why his son's carrying out all the efforts. So it's not really his.
Oliver, there's a whole period of time where people went around the world to find spices. So, I mean, is this really that far off?
Yeah, and back in those times, that's why you had kids, to go do the hard work.
That tracks.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, you see this letter. You see this vague threat. Okay, I'll say this: that you do notice that the letter it has a date, and it's it is today's date. Well, the day before rather, because it's a new day today. But like it seemed like it arrived. I'm sorry, not that day. Sorry, it arrived like relatively recently, like a 2 days, 3 days ago, or something like that. Some mail and snail mail and all that. So like, but it seems like from what he gathered, you see that he just opened it up.
Okay.
Today or sometime, or within it seemed like it was relatively opened recently.
I think I'll keep that information to give to the group. I guess we'll see. If
So,
during this point in the conversation, but I'm not going to ask him point blank on there.
Sure. Okay, so he comes down, and he's like, "Oh yeah, so I was able to muster up a couple of these kind of like tunics, and it has the crest of. He's like, it has the crest of the town, and you notice that the crest is like this kind of like this white fish on this like blue background. Yes, we're quite proud of it. It is it's some of the various fish that we find here. We're a fishing town, and so we deemed putting a fish on our crest kind of symbolic of who we are. But anyhow, if you want to wear these, that might help. Oh, I'm sorry. Where'd your friend go? Sorry, Jimbo.
Oh, Jimothy. Yeah,
Timothy,
he just stepped outside for a second. He's he wanted to keep an eye outside just in case.
He has a terrible smoking habit.
Oh, I see. Well, I appreciate him not smoking in my home.
Just cooks all the time.
But anyhow, yeah. So if you want, you could wear these. They're a little gross. But these are kind of like usually worn for like parades, which don't really happen ever anymore because it's too cold. But anyhow, sorry. Yeah, you could wear these, and he kind of like hands each of you one if you'd like to wear this like poncho tunic type thing, and he hands an extra one to you, Zora. And then bro is so depressing. He is really depressing. He's not doing great. But
sure.
I'm sorry. So anything else I could do for you? I should probably get back to to work here, and
So we're pretty exhausted, so we're going to check ourselves to the inn, I guess. Maybe talk to the innkeeper, see if they have any information. But maybe if we could meet the townsfolk tomorrow morning. I don't know if then they can meet us, not get scared off if we're doing patrols and stuff.
Sure. Actually, sorry, the Northern Lights, the owners, they really only answer to me, or really only open up to me. So if you don't mind, I could escort you there and just kind of
Perfect.
introduce them
That
to
would
you,
be appreciated.
so they don't attack you or anything like that.
I think we got this. It's
Let
probably,
me
it's probably fine.
here. Let me bundle up again, and then
We'll meet you outside. And I say that because I'm gonna try and get Jimothy so that he doesn't know we have a cart here. So.
Okay, so yeah, so he'll take a second, kind of like put this stuff together, kind of like put away some of
He
the documents.
doesn't know that we have polar bears here.
Yeah.
What?
Right.
Yeah, we probably, I don't know, we probably should be forthright about all of that, because we got a couple of frickin' polar bears in town.
Your guys' call.
Yeah, the next missing person might just be the bear's meal.
Midnight snack.
Yeah. Snack attack.
I'm fine with telling him, I guess. I don't know how much you want to divulge, so.
I say I'll ask Travis if there's a stable to keep our animals for the evening.
Yeah, the inn has a stable. Are you like on horses or like dogs, sled dogs?
Very large dogs.
Oh, like Saint Bernards or
Mastiffs.
But that's fine. I believe they should have the accommodation. And yeah, they have places for you could. Did you ride them separately, or do you have like a cart or anything, or like a sled you need to store?
Yes, we have a sled. Yeah, don't we have a
cart to store?
A cart, yeah.
Sure. Yeah. They just the owners, the sisters, they'll probably charge you for the night as well on the maintaining that, because they'll have to check up on every now and then. As long as you're okay with paying that fee, it should be no problem.
We should be able to accommodate that.
Perfect. All right. Yes. Let me go get ready, and I'll meet you outside. Is that fair?
Yep.
Okay. So he goes upstairs, kind of like puts his stuff away. You guys step out. Are you guys gonna go run up and get Jimothy, or are you guys gonna kind of like grab Jimothy along the way?
No, I'm gonna go ahead to get Jimothy in our cart, I guess, and the polar bears.
I'll go assist with the cart and the bears.
Okay, so Buffetes and Osmanthus are gonna wait for this guy up front, I'm assuming.
Yep. I'll wait for him.
Okay. So we'll say Silo, Zoran goes ahead. They go meet Jimothy. Jimothy's like Scrooge McDuck swimming in his raw materials. He's like, yes, valuable. No, I'm just kidding. Jimothy, what are you doing when they arrive?
I'm just staying like all covered up and mixed in with the ore there, watching in the direction that that I saw the feet go out of town, the footprints.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, you don't really see anything. Yeah, I'll say you keep an eye out, and then you notice Zoran and Asilo approach. I'll say for the sake of time that you relay that you told them about the cart and that they should accommodate that. And unless you wanted to add anything else, we'll say that eventually the guy comes out. He's kind of like, oh, what happened to the rest of you? And he's like, oh, well, we're gonna meet up with the cart. Then you guys meet up somewhere in the middle. And then how do you guys want to, like, you guys want to like just pull out the cart, show them that it's being hauled by polar bears, or
I feel like Osmanthus
or tell them along the way, or
would probably tell him along the way that okay, so they're not really dogs. Asilo here is he's still learning his animals. These are, and I know you're going to be disappointed like I was. These are actually polar bears, which we've managed to actually get to go where we need them to go. It's kind of surprising. Now, I can see you're disappointed because they're not owl bears.
He kind of goes like, hold up a second. You're hauling bears? Why are you bringing bears into my town?
No, the bears are hauling the cart.
I'm sorry.
I can see how you'd be confused.
Why are there bears? They're hauling your cart? How did you tame these bears? Anyhow, it doesn't matter.
It's pretty recent. Bofady, should we tell him about the quest we're on from Brunchander?
You doesn't have to tell him that.
Sure.
Oh, you will? Okay. Spicy.
Well, it explains why we're up here. I mean,
okay.
I don't see why those dwarves would be lying to us.
Sure. So he's just kind of like, oh, you're, okay. Well, that makes sense. You're an adventuring group. You have multiple quests. I'm assuming this is just one more of the various different jobs you do. He doesn't seem too interested in the details. He's just kind of like, oh, you're doing a quest for somebody else. That's fine. He doesn't think too much about it. At least that's what you can tell. Bum, bum, bum. No, I'm just kidding.
It doesn't seem like that's the way he's going with his reactions. Does he seem like earnest with that?
Yes, I'll say for the sake of moving this along. So you guys go with him. He goes to this other building, another 2-story building. He knocks on the door, and then you hear, hello, who's out there? Is that you, Trovis? He goes, yes, that's me, it's me. Look, open up, you actually have some guests here, believe it or not. And he goes, and then the door's like, oh, really? Okay. And opens up, you see kind of like she looks like maybe like a teen human. She's kind of like long black hair. She's kind of like in her second or third layer, because they wear so many layers here, but in whatever bedding, footy pajamas. She's just like, oh, okay, Dallas, please come in. She's like, I'm sorry, we weren't expecting anybody. Are you hungry? Or I'm assuming you're, sorry, come in. And she kind of like lets you guys come in. And she sees the cart and she sees the polar bears and she's just like, bear! There's a bear! And she goes like shouting out, like, why is there a bear? You guys gonna calm her down?
Don't worry about the bear. Yeah, I'll attempt to calm her down about the bear.
So you calm her down. She's like,
Bears.
oh, okay. We don't really, well, they can't really stay in the stable. If you want to detach the cart, in the stable, I'm just afraid that the bears will eat the other animals.
Oh, what other animals are in the stables right now?
A couple of dogs and, well, just dogs, really, actually. I'm sorry. Yes, please come in. And so, and she kind of like directs, like, one of you can just kind of go drop off the cart. However you guys want to do that. I really don't care. You drop it off. You can leave the polar bears outside. If you want to tie them to some post or whatever, you could do that. Unless you guys want to
direct them to a nice, comfy snowbank.
Yeah,
I prefer to let them graze.
Okay.
On the dogs.
Free grazing. Free grazing polar bears.
Yeah, you see the grass out out of town. Just go out there, eat that, come back.
They're
Yeah,
bears.
you see like one of them poops and the other one's just like eating the grass right next to the poop. Like it's just
Oh,
just like cows. No,
it's seasoned grass.
They were born with this. They got it under control.
okay. So yeah, we'll say that the bears are fine. Unless you guys want to do something specific. She kind of escorts you inside. She's like, "Oh, okay. How many rooms would you like?" Oh, I'm sorry. Where are my manners? I'm Allie. I'm Allie Sherrard. I and my sister, we run this inn, the Northern Light. Yes. Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. That's my name. You don't have to tell me any of yours. I understand. But did you? How many rooms would you like? And did you want any food in the morning? We can kind of have that prepared when you wake up. Just kind of let us know. She's kind of like nervous, but yeah, she's happy to have patronage. Sorry, go ahead, Buffettes.
And say yes to food, and can I ask why she seems so nervous? She's not used to having guests at her inn.
Well, she's nervous, probably given that the town's like multiple kidnappings and like thievery and that's like she's just a little hesitant, you know. She doesn't know who you are, right? Like for all you know, you could be the criminals or whatever.
Yeah, but didn't Trovis let us in?
Right. But like, you know,
I'll do my best to tell her that we're here to solve that problem for her, and she can rest at ease.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, calm the fuck down, lady. Okay, no.
Knowing that both 80s and everyone else here is here to help.
Okay. You just think she's just like a little on edge in general, but yeah. Okay, yeah. So how many rooms would you like? 2, 3?
Allie, how much is it per night for the rooms?
Oh, well, honestly, however much you're willing to give. We were so desperate for anything.
Jimothy will pull out a silver and put it on the counter.
Jesus.
He doesn't laugh the way Matt is, though.
It's like a huge middle finger.
Is it?
No, she's gonna like. I was hoping a little bit more. I guess there should be like a base, but how about
Jimothy will pull out 3 more silver.
That's fine. That'll do for how many nights? 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights?
1 for now.
1 for now, I think.
Okay, yeah. So let's just say, for the sake, like, it'll be like 2 silver per person. Really cheap tonight.
All right. Well, I'll pay for myself and one other person then.
Yep.
I just hand her 1 gold.
Oh, she's like, oh, thank you. All right.
Both 80s is like, thanks for covering me.
Timothy's gonna scoop his silver back up.
Oh my god.
Osmanthus is going to pull out a gold coin and a silver coin and go up to a silo and say, so this is a silver, this is a gold. 10 of these make 1 of these.
You're explaining this. I love it. Yeah, I really don't know. And honestly, I guess like at some point, if you guys have the time, like if you guys want to give you like some backstories.
She's being gracious with her hospitality, and these people need help.
Yeah.
You know, I should have picked up on that. Osmanthus will slide 2 silver over.
Perfect. Okay. So whatever, you collect that. Make sure you subtract however much that is that you give, and she's like, "Oh, thank you so much." Yeah, we'll have anything you'd like for breakfast tomorrow. We'll do our best to make something similar, or actually kind of complicated. Yeah, each of you can have your own room.
I prefer lamb and tuna fish.
I'm sorry?
I prefer lamb and tuna fish.
Aladdin tuna fish?
And tuna fish?
Yes, together.
Okay. We'll try. We can definitely do.
I look
something.
forward to it, and I'll head towards wherever the rooms are.
She hasn't even given us the keys. Jimothy has no idea where to go.
There's an upstairs. He can probably figure
It
that
doesn't
out.
need keys to get into rooms.
I gotta say,
so-
man, that's the weirdest surf and turf combination.
Aladdin's tuna fish.
I'll just have the catch of the day in like a morning stew type of
Perfect.
meal.
Ally, just chef's choice. Whatever you guys have on hand is fine. No need to
Okay.
make special accommodations for
As
Zoran.
long as it's lime and tuna fish.
Okay.
You'll have crappie and you'll like it.
So yeah, you guys, if you guys want to type your orders here, because I think it'll be funny, depending on how far we get. Okay, so she'll hand you each of you your keys. You each have your own bedroom because there's no one here, so and they can accommodate that. She goes, well, if you need anything, feel free to call for me. My sister Corey, she will be preparing you breakfast in the morning. And then, yes, if you want. Okay. Have a good night. And I'll see you all in the morning. And she hands you each of you your keys. And she kind of like goes to Trovis. Trovis, well, thank you so much again. I really appreciate it. And he's like, oh, of course, it's my job. I'll be back in the morning and I'll check up on you. She goes, oh, thank you very much. And Trovi's like, good night, everyone. I'm about to go do my patrol again. Best of luck to you.
Bye, Travis. See you tomorrow.
Okay.
Zoran goes into her room, and what accommodations are inside? Is there like a dresser? Is there a window? Are they on the second floor?
They are on the
First
second floor. There is a window. Again, no glass. So just kind of like a thing that you kind of like pushed open. But I don't know if you want to do that.
No. Zoran wants to like push a dresser up in front of the window. She doesn't want anything to come in.
Okay. Yeah, there is like a small dresser in each of these rooms, like a little desk, and a bed, and there is to be there's like a little like place for there's a couple candles in each of the rooms. It's actually pretty decent. The bed's actually pretty nice. A little bit of dust because they just haven't maintained it as well, but like they do for the most part do a pretty good job. The beds aren't like, just immediately like sink in. They're like super concave or anything like that. They're have whatever it is to your liking, the appropriate amount of firm/soft combo, side sleeper, stomach, whatever. So yeah, do you guys want to do anything before you go to sleep?
Yeah, I'm pushing my bed in front of the door so that it'll block it too. Zoran's real paranoid.
Wow. You guys in your other respective rooms hear a bunch of like shuffling in one of the rooms.
Yes.
And, like, creaking and shit move around.
Yeah.
Osmanthus will literally cast alarm around his room.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
he's
some of
gonna
us
make
don't
this-
have alarm.
Well, he's going to make this audible, so if anything disturbs it, it'll be an audible sound within 60 feet.
Perfect.
Oh, great. Thanks, Oz. So all of us will hear it.
How late is it?
It's like 3 in the morning.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Both 80s is okay to call it a night.
Okay. Jimothy, Asylum.
Door
Take that back.
unlocked.
He'll
Window
have a late night.
unlocked.
He'll have a late night pint.
You'll have a late night pint.
Yeah.
Okay. The rest of you.
I'm just
No,
standing. I'm just standing out in the hall at the top of the stairs.
That's awesome. I love Asylum. Such a cool. And then Jimothy.
I'm just going to bed. Immediately
Go to bed.
Like I don't talk to
Okay.
anyone. I just close my door and go to sleep.
Good point. Good point, Greg. I was just reading that. Okay. So everyone sleeps. We'll say, you sleep for like 6 hours or whatever. So you don't wake up like too late. Unless you guys want to sleep in. Is that?
I mean, I'm gonna do what my body tells me because obviously I have a dresser blocking the natural sunlight. So until someone
there's not-
comes and knocks on my door, I'm just gonna sleep until I need to wake up.
Okay, you probably could be up at 11 noon. So
Well, as an elf, I'll go into a trance for 4 hours and really recover my abilities. So
Oh yeah, I
Okay.
am an elf. I guess I don't actually need that much sleep.
yeah, you don't even need the bed. So like you push it up in front of your door and you go into like the corner for a trance.
why would you do that? No. Okay, so you guys can sleep, get a night's rest, get everything back. Nothing really happened today, so
I mean, I'm no longer exhausted, I would think.
that's a good point. That is important. Yeah,
There
you
you go.
get your point back. And then who wakes up first? And do you wake up everybody else, or you're just kind of like, oh, well, I'll go eat my breakfast or do my own little thing in the morning?
I'll probably wake up first because I'm out in the hall and I can hear movement downstairs.
Yeah, you do hear. Actually, that's a good point. You do hear another voice, another woman's voice, and she's like cursing and like bustling about. She's just like, "Fuck, shit, God damn it." She's just like, she's just working, right? Like she's just like, So you hear some bustling downstairs. Do you go downstairs? Do you wake up everybody else? How's this happening?
I smack Osmanthus's door really hard and then walk downstairs.
Okay.
What a dick.
I assume his alarm goes off since it lasts 8 hours and he has to like cancel it. Like, damn it.
Yeah, you can't snooze it, unfortunately. So yeah, you're up.
No.
Well, Soren's up, I guess.
Timothy Buffettes.
Yeah, Timothy gets up and goes down to find his lamb and tuna fish.
Wait, so Buffettes,
Yeah,
did you actually
Buffettes
were
will-
you actually able to get a pint? I don't know if the bar was open.
I mean, I guess we kind of moved past, so no worries.
Well, I thought you were just carrying alcohol.
Oh.
I just
No, I was
assumed
gonna
like
see
you're
if there
just
was
like, oh well, I'll have a pint and just gotta pull
No,
something out.
Buffettes
No,
has
that's
not
horrible.
found his, ever refilling bottle of wine yet. So
I
he
mean, you
doesn't-
don't have to have
he
that.
doesn't
You can
have
just have a bottle of wine. Like it's just for some reason. Yeah, I'm sorry. I totally just skipped over that. I mean, they weren't gonna accommodate that in the evening anyway. So yeah, we'll just kind of move past that. Well, they could have, but they were just like really tired. Okay. So you come out, and yeah, you see there's a woman. She's kind of like coming in and out. There's like a kitchen in the back, and there's like a little small bar. And she sees a silo first, and she's like, "Whoa, hello, what the heck are you supposed to be?"
I believe most people call me a Warforged, but you can call me a Silo.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure, sure. All right. Well, just have a seat. Wait. What do you eat? I don't think I got a silo. Which dish are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Thank you for your generosity.
Oh, all right then. That's I like you already. Less work for me. And she kind of goes back to the kitchen. As the rest of you come down. Okay. So, assuming you guys all kind of like take a seat, there's like a little bar, a couple stools. You guys all sit down.
Soren will put her room back together. where it
Okay.
was, and then yes, she'll come down and say, "Hi, you must be Corey. We met your sister last night."
Yes, yeah, that uh, scared the you scared the crap out of us last night. I wasn't expecting anybody. But yes, you were right. Oh, what did you want to eat? Well, what did you? What?
Whatever's easiest. Whatever you got back there. I'm not picky.
Okay. Which one of you ordered tuna fish and lamb?
Jimothy. That one.
Timothy is like at the table with the napkin in as a bib, and he's waiting.
Okay. And she comes out with your plate first, and she's a little. She kind of like gives you like this stern look, and she places it in front of you. He's like, "Let me know what you think." And she steps back. Who ordered the catch of the day?
Bofades did. That one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Oh wait.
And
Catch of the day
yeah, catch
or
of the
house
day.
special? Oh, sorry. That was
Osmanthus.
Osmanthus. Yeah.
Yeah, Zoran. It seems like your memory isn't the greatest.
I guess I don't know what the difference between catch of the day and the house special is, but
The house special is probably the catch of tomorrow. That's what makes it
Okay.
special.
So she comes out and she actually she has a stew. She has like some kind of like fish fillet on the side and like this it seems like it's like a vegetable stew. Places that in front of you, Osmanthus. Bufades, for you, the chef's special. She places out a chicken pot pie in front of you.
Bam. Nice.
But it's a fish town. Are you sure it's not a fish pot pie?
You don't know. Well, that's a good point. It looks like a pot pie. How about that?
could be a fish stew.
There we go. A pie. It
Fish
is a
pot
pie.
pie.
It is
A
a
pie.
pie, and I don't know what's in the pie yet.
It looked like a
Maple.
man.
This reminds me of the
and then-
Taskmaster skit.
And then Zoran, she pulls out traditional biscuits and gravy.
Nice.
Puts that in front of you. He goes, honestly, if you don't like it, you can go to hell. I did the best I could, but I'm a pretty damn good cook, so I hope you like it. And if you don't tell me.
Yeah, Silo was really onto something when he was talking about their hospitality.
Yeah.
The best.
So Jimothy, we'll start with you. You kind of look down first, and believe it or not, there are like lamb shanks and some sort of like lightly cooked fish. It doesn't look like it's tuna though. That's the only tough part. But you do have lamb shanks in front of you.
I'll eat the lamb.
Okay. Okay. The rest of you, yeah, you guys kind of eat, and it's actually pretty good. Pretty good home cooking. So,
Wow.
it's to your liking. Unless you don't like fish. But yeah, it's actually surprisingly pretty good. I would say the fish is a little gamier, I guess, but if that makes sense. A little fishy.
If you don't like fish, you can go to hell.
Yeah, if you don't like fish, you can go to hell. So she comes back out. She sees that all of you are eating. She seems to be pleased, unless you guys don't like any of it. She notices you, Jimothy, not touch the fish. And she kind of like approaches you, and she's like, and the lamb shanks are actually not bad. Did you not like the fish?
I don't know. I didn't eat it.
Oh, I see. Are you going to?
Are you going to give it to someone else?
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, it depends what you do. You can see she's kind of like looking at you. She's like,
Timothy's very concerned that that the innkeeper here is so concerned about his meal.
she's just like wanting to make sure because like you ordered something like so like kind of like exorbitant or whatever, and she's just like, you better eat what I put in front of you because you made this ridiculous request.
Yeah, he's just gonna look at her and not really answer the question.
She's kind of like,
The
all
silo
right,
looks at Jimothy and says, I think you should finish your meal. Don't you want to grow up and be big and strong one day?
and she kind of like laughs and she's like, I like your friend here. Anyhow, did you guys want anything to drink? Ale, wine. We got milk. If you like milk.
Is the town
coffee.
known for anything? Oh, you know what? Coffee.
Coffee?
Bothades will be clamoring for some morning wine. It's breakfast wine.
Breakfast wine. Yeah, we have some wine. It's like
The hell is
Fish wine.
breakfast wine?
what?
A mimosa?
The hell is breakfast wine? Is it just a like a prefix you add to wine to make it sound like it's okay to drink for breakfast?
Yeah, it's AM wine.
It's just fucking wine.
They're called mimosas.
Got any breakfast whiskey?
So
Yes.
in the
5 o'clock
morning
somewhere.
you drink
it's
a
whatever-
white wine because
It's whatever the French
it's
drink.
light and it's crisp. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
She comes out with like a Pop-Tart flavored wine. Nah, I'm just kidding.
She gives you fruit wine.
yeah.
Here's some French toast wine.
That would be
Just like,
sangria.
alright. No, she comes out, so she gives you coffee, a cup of coffee. Zoran, did you want coffee? Ale?
No, Zoran's just gonna take a milk with her biscuits and gravy.
Okay, milk, and then Jimothy.
I don't suppose it's too much to ask for orange juice.
I'm sorry. No orange juice here. It's very hard to get juices. There's not really fruits up here.
Hmm.
Jimothy, if I can make your drink taste like orange juice, would that be enough? Yes, with magic.
I will hand him my water flask thing.
Okay. So you guys all get your beverages. Yeah, the coffee, again, not really a lot of cocoa beans up here. She actually does have coffee. It's a little, I think she's not quite used to it. She likes it. It's just dark, so dark coffee. So
Well, that's
and it's
the
a little grainy.
It's the best kind of coffee. Just
So that's how it's done right.
yeah,
There you
like
go.
just plain dark. And
Yeah. But yep, it's hot. Okay, so yeah, you guys get everything. She goes, all right. Did you want anything else? We have leftovers of whatever it is you all ordered. So if you want any more, let me know. My sister here says that you're supposed to take care of the town situation. You're gonna help us out.
Yeah, do you have any info? And anything that might be useful? Helpful?
like a map.
Oh
Yeah.
well, I could tell you a thing about some of the stuff that was stolen.
Yeah.
And I could tell you about how I was attacked.
Oh,
Attacked here or attacked somewhere
Yes,
else?
here. Oh gosh. No. They so the light, the night, the lantern for the northern light here it's quite famous. It's beautiful. It has this sort of aurora borealis effect. I put it up in the evening. As I was being put up, I get smacked in the back of the head, and I fall to the ground, and I see this. It seems like this dwarf, but it had this weird looking skin, like darker. I couldn't quite tell. But quickly grabs the light. Well, it's weird because it seems like I don't know. They grab the light and they run off, and I'm very disoriented. But they steal that. And they I mean they've kidnapped a couple of my friends and some of the fishermen and miners here. But yeah. I'm not sure what the Trovis has told you, but I can help in any way, shape, or form. I could give you directions to some of the mines or some of the places around here if you'd like to check out. But yeah, I really don't know how to help you, honestly. Hopefully, you can just take care of this, and this whole nightmare can be over with, and I can open up properly and get back to business.
No, the information is very helpful. Thanks for sharing, Corey.
Okay. Sorry, Timothy, you were muted.
Where are these mines at? She said she's offering to show us where these mines are, right?
Well, I can give you directions, but yeah, they're to the north of east of here, kind of like towards the cairn. But
Is there a path? It's like easy to find?
Well, no, but I could give well, maybe she's still available. There is a guide. We do have a guide in town who works here. I think she still works. I don't know what she's doing, but she is a guide. You could hire her, and she could. I really can't. Honestly, I really don't want to go out there. Please don't make me go out there. I can give you general directions, but if you want a guide, I would recommend going to them.
Who's the guide, or where can we find them, or what's their name?
Oh, okay. Well, there's I don't remember their name off the top of their, but the place is called Frozen Far Expeditions. That's what it's called. It should be a building. It should have a sign. But,
okay, we'll find it.
Yeah, they run the place.
I feel like in a town of 50, everybody knows each other.
Right. Matt was thinking the same thing.
This person must be terrible with names. She's like, I do foods. I don't remember names.
Yeah, explains why I got like cod instead of tuna. No, tuna.
Halibut?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. Her name's no, sorry, not her name. His name's Atenis.
Like the sport?
No. Atenis.
Like the elbow.
I think that might be a Greek god.
Or Atenas. But no, yes, but anyhow, yeah, I'm sorry, my name, I haven't really kept up. But yeah, they run they're the ranger. They sell. You can get dog sleds from them if you'd like. But it seems like you have a cart and being hauled by bears was what my sister was telling me.
Can we get a polar bear sled?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Can we get
polar
a
bear
polar bear sled from?
We don't. We have larger sleds, but not specifically polar bears.
Oh.
Then.
Corey, do you have any like fish back there that hasn't been cooked, like raw fish?
Oh, that's a good idea. Like salmon.
Sure. I could sell you a couple if that's okay.
Yeah. How much?
A silver a fish.
Cool. I'll take 4.
Okay, perfect. And so she comes out. You could have gotten a better deal, by the way.
Nah, I'm not gonna haggle with her because she made this really awesome biscuits and gravy. Actually, I'm gonna ask if I can have a second thing of biscuits and gravy.
Okay, yeah, she brings that out as well. So she gives you like a little like sack, and then it's got a couple of fish in there. Yeah, perfect. So yeah, you're more welcome to go to Frozen Far. And ask for Atinus. He'll be able to help you. I think they run it with someone else. But I don't know if they were kidnapped. I think someone named Jarthra. I think that's her name. I haven't really run into them before, but
Are they
anyhow,
near
they
a
should be able to
town?
take care of you. Anything else you need this morning? Will you be paying for another night's stay, or?
We can talk to Allie about that, or should we talk to you about that? I mean, can you keep our
No,
rooms?
yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I really just run the kitchen. Allie does the kind of
We'll talk
bookkeeping
to
and
her.
all that.
No
Okay,
worries.
perfect. And she goes, well, just whenever you're done, leave the dishes there. I'll take care of it. I'm gonna go back to back in the kitchen.
Okay, bye.
Okay.
Okay.
So you guys, okay. So she gives you. She kind of like actually comes back in a little bit, hands you Jimothy directions to the nearest outpost, mine outpost.
Mm.
So
is this outpost to the northeast where she said?
Yep. So
Alright.
she kind of says like, she kind of gives you like, okay, go to the northeast for about an hour, and then it kind of, she says it wraps around the cairn, and then travel for about 15 minutes around the cairn, and then instead of going, keep wrapping around, kind of like go kind of like directionally out a little bit southwest, and then you should come across it. She said it's like you'll see like this large cliff made out of snow, or made out of ice rather, and then you'll see the post is kind of set up around this cliff. He says if you don't see the cliff for about a half hour, you've missed it. But she said it should be pretty noticeable. So she kind of relays that, but you have that information.
All right. She is terrible at giving directions.
So you have that information. Okay, so we'll say so it's 8:00 on my end, so that's like 10 or whatever, 11 you guys in. So we'll kind of stop there. So for next time, do you guys want to just go on your own, or do you guys want to stop by and try to get a guide?
I think we just go on our own personally.
I think
Yeah,
we
I
can.
mean,
Yeah, I mean, I think we could probably go it alone.
I mean, the cairn is a huge freaking mountain. If we can't get to a huge mountain, then we probably should just head south and never come back up north again, or leave a city.
Perfect.
Do
Okay.
we want to take our polar bears with us then, or we want to just hike it ourselves?
I don't know.
I think we spend more time with the polar bears, the better. Get them more used to
I
us.
agree. I mean, I do have these 4 fish to give them.
Eventually,
You
they
have
will
2
be
fish
our
now.
sidekicks.
Eventually, you will have polar bear sidekicks that are
Or they will kill one of us.
yes.
Probably the small one.
It's like a 1 in 5 chance that it's going to be me. I'll take those odds.
Yeah.
Do we want to leave our cart, like the materials behind, and see if they just have an empty cart we can take? Or we want to take everything with us?
I think the cart's locked in the stables, isn't it?
Yeah, you guys put it in the stables. You could leave it there, and just take attach one of the sleds that they have there to the polar bear and then take that.
Yeah. Yeah, I still want to have the tarp, I guess, over it. Just, we don't need to be advertising that there's shit in it.
Sure.
We should probably tell the townspeople that if our stuff is stolen, we're going to kill everybody.
All right, we can tell that to Trovis before we leave.
I mean, they don't know that. They don't know
You'll
what we're
kill
capable of.
everyone.
Yeah. That way,
You said
everyone is looking out for
If
it.
You
if
said
you
that
think
so
this other person is
nonchalantly. Like,
bad-
yeah, if our stuff is stolen, we'll murder everyone in this town.
Jimothy, you should relay that to Trovis. I'm sure you're the most persuasive of all of us.
Yeah, you guys think kidnappers are bad. We're actually going to murder you all.
Yeah, but only
Yeah.
the hobos.
What's your alignment again, Timothy?
Is it not obvious?
Money. Alignment, money.
It's whatever keeps his treasure.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So we'll say that next time you guys are gonna forgo getting a guide, paying for a guide, figure it out on your own. That's good. Okay. So we didn't quite get to, but that's probably because of me, because I like to talk a lot. But next time you guys will go. Well, hopefully, depending on if you take the directions well, get to this nearest outpost and do some exploring. And
Well, I mean, there was quite a bit of indecisiveness tonight, so.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's kind of because like I'm asking each of you individually, what you kind of want to do, and I should probably just herd you guys along a little bit more. But I don't know. I want you guys to flesh out your characters a little bit.
It's all good. I think we're doing fine.
Don't worry, I'll hit you with a backstory eventually. Because both ladies is awesome.
Yeah, no worries.
Good.
I'm yeah. If you guys want to give me a snippet, or you want to just have the character be developed along the way, that works for me as well. Osmanthus, Greg already have your stuff, so I have some
think
ideas.
the on the way development has been fun for Asilo. I mean,
Yeah,
just
like-
with the basic knowledge of he's 4 years old, so.
Yeah, like some of it's like
These
just like
days.
basic kindness, some of it's just like genuine no idea, and you're just kind of learning along the way. I like it. I think you're doing a great job.
What is love? What is money?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll meet next week. And then we'll pick it up there, and then we'll actually do some map stuff then. I anticipate, hopefully. I would be
Alrighty.
shocked if we didn't get to it.
Sweet.
Nice.
All right.
Well, we'll see everybody next week.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'll see you guys then.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.